My new time? This is my current PB, 40:28. I think I got that time like 2 days ago. Yeah, I just ran a 40:51, which is still really good. No, you're good. You do you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a pretty good... It's definitely a solid PB. I just know that we can definitely beat it. I gotta save over a different character so that the save name I'm using isn't PRC. So it used to be an elf that I had for practicing things. Oh, I'm hitting the button. Okay. I hit the button, went to itch my face. It didn't work. I went to hit the button again, and then immediately went to continue itching my face, and the button didn't work again. I didn't mean to switch it to an elf. Doesn't really matter who I am here. Oh, goodness. My controller almost fell off my desk. Okay. I just walked off. Hey, we might reset. I know it's a little silly. Maybe. We'll see. Just because we're so early on and we only have time for like maybe one more full run. This is a fucking ugly dungeon deeps. Or dungeon passage so far. Fuck. The angle I was holding is usually good. Unfortunately, this controller sucks. Also, I didn't pull in elf. This is a terrible strategy. Yeah, we gotta clean that up. I don't really know how. We just do. Luckily, character management stuff like that is usually pretty easy to fix in the route. Like, one idea would be take the bonus gold on level 1 instead of level 2. And then when you're in level 2, instead of dropping out player 2 and going through with elf to start as player 2. Drop out player 1, drop out elf. Start the level with player 2, and then the cycle will leave you on player 1 at the end of the level, and you're already good to go. You don't have to do some awkward swap at the end. Oops. Are the controller disconnected? Are the batteries low on this controller again? Because pretty sure I recycled some old but not totally empty batteries. I also am pretty sure that I did not get a proper burst off and left a lot of enemies alive. Let's just reset. Let's get a fresh... What is my battery? Ugh, fuck me, dude. Let's see if one of these other batteries has some more juice in it. Is the battery pack not connecting, or are these batteries completely empty? Yeah, these are empty. Okay, so I swapped out the wrong one, it would seem. What about these two? How do they fare? Hey, we like to see that. How about you? How are you doing? You're full too. It kind of seems like these controllers just say they're either full or empty, which is not helpful. So we're going to do bonus gold on level 1. That sets us up for better controller management for later. Actually, I keep accidentally pulling an elf in here. Oh my god. Oh, what am I doing? The muscle memory of reaching up instead of down. I never even considered that. I just reached further up and I was on controller 3. What am I doing? It's like I don't even know who I am anymore. Just kidding. Whoa. And we already bonus golded, so we're good on bonus gold. But I will try to eyeball my gold as I spam through the shop. $350. That's exactly what we want to see. So yeah, consider this, right? We saved 0.7. We tried, and what we like squeezed into Dungeon Passage was this weird little skip that maybe saves like a second or two at best. Is it worth it? Did it actually save time? I think it did. Because I fucked up and like tried dropping out a character that didn't exist for a bit. So that slowed me down by like a second or so. And then we didn't get a death warp, and we had to take the teleporter back, which also loses time. Yet we were still ever so slightly ahead. So to me that says we probably actually saved like a second or two doing that trick. And the reason we weren't further ahead is just that other things went wrong. And that's a good sign. Alrighty. What do I kind of want to do? Ignore that. Oh. Didn't work. I was going to open up a metronome for old time's sake, but also because I'm probably going to use a metronome at GDQ. Because I never miss this, right? I get this like every time. But I'm worried that with all of the stuff going on, my timing might be off for Scarecrow Clip. And I don't really want to miss Scarecrow Skip. Whoops. So I might just use a metronome, which is my old strat for doing this. And how did he die? It's a bug. So him melting in the fire is not intended. What's actually happening is there is a seam in the floor. There's two like planes of collision that are connected on the floor, right where he's standing when we hit him with the fire. And he's falling in between the seam, between those two planes of collision. And when he falls under the map, he eventually hits the death box and dies. And that's why the timing is so specific for Scarecrow Skip. Because he needs to be standing at a very specific spot at a very specific time when he gets hit by the fire. And if you do it right, he falls through the floor. And that's why I used to use a metronome. You need to clear the prompt and then hit the fire cauldron at an interval of about 180 BPM. You can do like 170 to 175, but I find that 180 is kind of a good sweet spot. And it's a little slower, so it's a little easier to do and internalize. So for my first couple runs, you'll see me like pull out my phone during the cutscene and play a metronome. And I've even done some runs where I'll listen to a song that's 180 BPM during the level, which was usually Monkey Wrench by Foo Fighters. Which I think is like actually 176 BPM or something, but whatever. You know, it was a good enough interval. Yeah, it's a really good song. Foo Fighters are awesome. But I've just done the skip so many times that I've kind of internalized the interval. Never saw them live. There's so many bands that I would probably like to see live, but I just have never because I'm not a big concert person. I don't really go to big concerts or anything. I've seen Ninja Sex Party and Tupperware Remix Party, and they were amazing. I saw Christina Perri. I've seen Dave Matthews Band. I've seen Snarky Puppy. Snarky Puppy was nice, though, because jazz concerts are pretty low-key. I've seen a lot of, like, local bands. I like going to local shows, but, like, big concerts are not quite my thing. I don't remember if I've saved my character, so we're doing it again. Just as a safety, it doesn't really lose hardly any time. But yeah, Foo Fighters are awesome. They would be really fun to watch live, I'm sure. I want to see the Gorillaz live one day. I don't know who else. I had a chance to see Brendan Small doing Death Clock stuff live, and I passed up that chance, and I kind of regret it. It was a Death Clock Baby Metal concert. So I would have gotten to see both of those amazing, awesome bands. And I think Killswitch Engage was there too, which is just wild. Ugh, I should have gone. But I didn't. It's okay. Some of the best stuff I've ever gone to were local shows. I have the End of Heartache. Oh, I don't need that gold. Oh, there, you typed something before then. Love Baby and Casey. I have the End of Heartache. That's awesome. Yeah, I liked okay. I was kind of messing stuff up there, but we made it through. I listened to Killswitch when I was younger. I was in like middle school a lot. Not that they're... I think I need to get back into them. It's just been a long time since I've listened to them. Because I liked them a lot. And then Baby Metal, I was really into them when their first like album or two came out. But I have not kept up with them. Oh, why are we not doing the thing? I would love to see Sungazer live as well. They're amazing. Iron Maiden, that's awesome. I named my pet rabbit Eddie after their mascot when I was in like high school. I had a pet rabbit. I've also always been a huge Ozzy fan, and will obviously sadly never get to see him live, but it's okay. He definitely put his time in the world of music. TM. Let's dodge an attack here if we can. Painfully disappointing, but that's okay. I think, so here's the thing. I think my PB has some of the cutscene skips in them. Because I'm pretty sure the one on speedrun.com doesn't have them, but I think the 4028 does. Which means I don't remember where other time saves are supposed to be. I've never seen Ozzy, but love his music. He played his last ever show 2 weeks before. Yeah. And that show was really cool. I have seen a lot of the recordings from that, but... Oh. There we go. Diary of a Madman will kind of forever be one of my favorite albums. It's very, very good. But I had his, like, Essentials album as a kid. It was, sort of a greatest hits type of thing. I used to listen to that while playing World of Warcraft. I have a very distinct memory. Whoops. I need you to be a wizard, please. I have a very distinct memory of getting the Burning Crusade expansion pack, downloading it, making a Draenei, and then listening to Ozzy for an entire day while leveling my first Draenei. I think I was a Draenei hunter. I loved hunters a little too much when I was younger. It's like the only class I wanted to play because they were the only ones that got like cool pets. I've heard of Trivium, but I've never really listened to much of their stuff. I've heard some of their songs, but that's because I've played some Trivium charts on Guitar Hero, on like Clone Hero and stuff. That's another little like gaming history thing for me that most people in the current community I'm in with the Gauntlet community and okay, let's do something like this. Ascendancy and Crusade are 2 golden albums, which I have. Ooh, okay. I'll have to check them out sometime. I used to be really into rhythm games. I used to play a lot of Clone Hero. I also used to make charts, which was very fun, and I probably still have everything installed to be able to do so, and maybe I should do that again sometime. But, so I make music, so I have charted some of my music before as well. And I booted up Clone Hero like 2 or 3 nights ago, and I haven't played in a couple of years. I couldn't even play my own charts anymore because my hands were cramping up a little too fast. So to make charts, I used something called Moonscraper, which was just charting software. And then, of course, to make the actual music that I, made in order to have something of my own to chart, which I charted some, like, regular songs. I charted Sleeping Dogs by Black Label Society, which was fun. But like, to make music, I use Reaper, which is a digital audio workstation that's pretty good and pretty useful. It's very Reaper is very customizable. You can do so much with it, but it's kind of all on your shoulders typically. Whereas something like GarageBand or actual paid, more expensive DAWs have a lot more useful tools, like pre-built in. Oh, I love that. Vice City and San Andreas. That's cool. I got into a lot of the music that I liked when I was a bit younger because of my dad. My dad's a musician, and he used to be in a band. Nothing like huge, but he did some, his band toured a little bit. Okay, I'm taking so much damage this time around. This is bad. I'm gonna have to play it safe the rest of this route, I think. So my dad was a big influence, and then also Tony Hawk soundtracks were a big influence, because that's what got me into like a lot of punk and ska stuff that I like. My dad got me into a lot of like classic rock and some metal and things like that. It's my dad's fault I like Rush as much as I do, and Ozzy and things like that, and then it's Tony Hawk's fault that I like oh, I split, but there's a oh well. So we actually lost quite a bit of time there. But it'll reflect on Imperial City instead. I don't really care. Vice City was the GOAT. V-Rock is the station. I always tune to whatever I can. Yeah, I loved Vice City. I actually replayed it like a year ago. And that game holds up really well. It's super fun still. I know, if you're coincidentally for any reason tapped into the no-hit run community, I know the Happy Hob has been working on Vice City no-hit runs, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna do this the normal way. Let's get my controllers a little more organized. But no, one of the biggest like bands that Tony Hawk games really introduced me to was the Dead Kennedys. I really like them. I have not listened to them nearly enough for how good they are. But they're very good. I had a feeling that would happen. But it's okay. Pretend that's a gold split, because it should be. Holiday in Cambodia. It's a classic. I think American Wasteland had California Uber Alice as well, which was a good one. My brother got me into a lot of stuff too, so my brother influenced me heavily into like Radiohead, Flaming Lips, stuff like that, the Shins. So that's where that comes from for me. And then later on in life, he really got me into like Snarky Puppy, Sungazer, other like jazz stuff like that. I got too many generators I gotta kill for how little mana I have. Please let me through. That was the wrong character for a second. Go. I think so. My Chemical Romance do a cover. I'm trying to remember which song they do. They do a cover of a song in American Wasteland, and it was only released as part of the OST, like the soundtrack for American Wasteland. It didn't have an album release. I think it might have been like an Aquabat song or something. I can't remember. And then a different band did a cover of Teenagers from Mars by the Misfits, which is a really good song as well. I prefer the original, but the cover is really good. All the music in that's really good. Yeah, that was one of the draws to American Wasteland. One of the marketing schemes they used was getting big bands to do covers for songs that were only going to be released as part of the game and weren't going to be in any albums. Slipknot cover of Eyeless. I'm trying to think of... What's BMTH? I'm trying to put those letters together in my head. Oh, Bring Me the Horizon. Yes, yes, yes. I could not for the life of me. I was like, It's like, these letters surely mean something, and it is not clicking. I never really listened to them. I know I'm very familiar with their existence, but yeah, I've never listened to Bring Me the Horizon personally. Yeah. I know. What the fuck? My partner's really into them too. I gotta listen to them more. Oh, fuck me. That did so much damage. Are they the ones that did King for a Day with Sleeping with Sirens? Or am I thinking of a different band? No, who did King for a Day? It's Sleeping with Sirens and someone else. Pierce the Veil. Yeah, they're cool, so. Also another band I just haven't listened to very much. I'm very aware of their existence because I listened to Sleeping with Sirens for a bit, but... a band that I've kind of always meant to check out more and just never did. Oh, that's cool. I was very into My Chemical Romance. Sleep Token I do like quite a bit. I haven't listened to them a ton, but everything I've heard so far I've been a fan of. Because they had that one song that was really, really big. Take Me Back to Eden? Okay, okay. I'm trying to remember what that Sleep Token song's called. Like Ritual or something, I can't remember. But it was like really popular on like TikTok and stuff for a while. Which probably dates the last time I was on TikTok because I deleted it like a year ago. There's a lot of bands too that like I've listened to a little bit, really, really, really liked them, and then just haven't really listened to them since. And I really need to. Dream Theater's one of them. Children of Bodom's another one. I've listened to a couple of Children of Bodom songs. I think Morrigan's one of them. And I just have not, like, listened to more of their stuff since. There we go. That's kind of goated if I... Whoops. I'm bumping parts of my controller that should not be happening. Okay. I used to like Halloween a lot. They're pretty good. Man, if I PB on this run, it's just gonna be music talk the whole time, which I think is fine. Anything, I think it's pretty good. I'm actually very curious what kind of music the other Gauntlet runners listen to. We've never talked about that. Disturbed is good. I would say too, like as we're bringing up songs, it does compel me to sing portions of them, and I have been resisting that urge because Twitch auto mutes anything that like triggers its little DMCA robot, and I'm not trying to glaze my singing capabilities. They're pretty decent, but like, just in the risk of me hitting that copyright for any, like, if it triggers it and then mutes part of my VOD, then that kind of fucks with the recording for the PB if it were a PB, just because we're ahead. But just picture me doing that. I don't know. Hey, Boyle. A little better. I laid on my floor for about half an hour to an hour. I just laid on the floor, and it did help, but we are still not perfect. Just a little better. And we are currently incrementally saving time, and we're talking about music. Boyo, what kind of music do you listen to? What are some bands that you like? We've been talking about all kinds of stuff. I'm very curious. The Gauntlet folks, we never bring up music. David, I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten the same impression that, like, Boyo might listen to a lot of metal, or maybe even just be into, like, the more hardcore side of the punk scene or something. But who knows? Maybe he's just a straight shooter Chopin type of guy or something. Just all classical or something, which is also pretty cool. More into singles and bands, that's valid. All over the place, also valid. That's true. You do play a lot of rhythm games, and so electronic genres do make a lot of sense for that. I was kind of mentioning that because Trivium got brought up, and I was like, I've never really listened to Trivium before, but I have played a couple Trivium charts on Clone Hero. And so it's like, I know what they sound like a little bit. Same with, like, I've listened to, like, one Endless Sporadic album, and it's because of Guitar Hero 3 having Impulse on it. And it was a great album. I've just never listened to anything else from them. Oh my gosh, this one's still alive. There we go. That was okay. It's a little slow. D&B stuff's really nice. I don't know if you like drum and bass, if you've ever listened to or haven't listened to Arcologies, check them out. A lot of good stuff there. I think one of those bursts got snuffed by Pendulum's good. Ooh, Emo Cosine? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. That's very interesting. I'll have to check them out. Emo. Amokasine, maybe? I don't know. When I was younger, too, speaking of sort of electronic-related genres, drum and bass, etc., EDM, I used to listen to so much Bass Hunter. And it always bugged me when people would sing anything that was utilizing the same melody as Dota by Bass Hunter, but not sing the Dota version. They would sing like what's it called, like Angel in the Night or something. Oh no, it's a Rave Girl. I know this Pretty Rave Girl. That's the one that has the same melody, and it's also a Bass Hunter song. But I was always rocking the Swedish Dota song. And it didn't matter to me that it was the same band and everything. I was like, no, you're doing the wrong one. Oh, I don't have the weapon upgrade. I forgot to grab it. And he's pushing me back here anyways. I'm grabbing it. So I gotta start smacking him now. He would have been dead if I had it, but I also wouldn't have been on the same cycle of attacks, so we can't mull over this too much. We have no clue what that timeline would look like. We are losing time, though. Okay, that was really fortunate. That really mitigated our losses. Gives me a chance to still get the PB I'm looking for, which is a 39. But we did kind of just throw away this run a little bit. That was kind of a throw. And I'm a little bummed about that. Because I did say I don't really feel great about submitting another 40 when I'm this close to a 39. Alright. You know, I could save my character after that level. And then I get to keep the weapon for destroying the generators at the end of this level. It's like such a small thing, but saving my character just doesn't take that much time. It might be worth it. Just for that one little benefit. Okay, interesting. Okay, I could make it over on this character. I'm gonna do one more. Because I want to line my characters up in a very specific way. Just lets me be more comfortable playing out this section. The dungeon passage one. Very hard. Hard enough that there's a very, very valid reason I'm not currently using it in this run or any of the runs that I've done today. So there's an issue with it, and I think the solution to the issue is hand position. And so I need to experiment with that. So I said I solved it. I said I figured out what makes it work, right? The thing that makes it work is you have to spawn all of the characters simultaneously. And that unfortunately means you need to hit the A button on the same frame for all of them, which is just hard to do with 3 controllers. Right? It's really hard to do that on 3 controllers. But if you do it, it's a great time save. So I'm able to sometimes get it consistently, but it's entirely based on how comfortable are my hands feeling on my controller. And also, if I've practiced like a lot of really intensive things, sometimes it's about like, if I have a lot of hand strain, it's really hard to do. I do have a little spot in my stream from this earlier today that explains how I do my current hand positioning, so I can try and find that, though I very well may not bother with it too much until I... Oh, excuse me, everybody. I'm going to do this just because I hate using that controller. I might wait until I experiment with other hand positions, because the one that I'm doing just feels like it's not, like, good for what we need. But it's consistent. Like, when done right, if you do it right, I would say 95% of the time you're gonna get it. So it's a pure execution barrier, and not so much about, like, RNG, which is good, because that's what I was really worried about. Is this just an RNG check? And it doesn't seem to be. There's other spots where the same trick works, but they seem way less consistent. And I can get into it another time, but I think it has to do with camera angle, which is weird. But yeah, I think it has to do with camera angle, making it hard on certain ones, because you need to, because of the camera angle, you need to be holding a certain angle on the characters to get it to work, and it's hard to hold the angle if the camera's facing a weird way when you're in that corner, and etc., etc. So but there could be workarounds for that. But the other ones that I found one other one, and it doesn't seem very helpful, because it's in dungeon deeps, but you're skipping one gate and then would need to skip another gate. And it's like, well, okay, but we can't skip the other gate. So it's not that helpful. No, like, if this is a PB and I submit it, it's not going to be in it. Oh, I can burst these guys. I didn't do it in this run. The first couple runs today I tried, or not today, but like this session, I tried to do it, but failed. So hopefully sub 40 incoming. I've lost more than 15 seconds on Caldera before, so we'll see. Oops, whoopsies. Hey everyone, leave me alone. I'm not allowed to kill you this time, so just need everyone to be nice. So I need these enemies to, like, not follow me. That's one of the issues. This last time I had a guy follow me. See, this guy's following me. And then he might die to Caldera, I don't know. But that might ruin the trick. Which is okay, because we're multi-controller. I can just defend with a wizard. But it gets so messy with Caldera trying to kill us, too. I don't know. We'll see. We're obviously going to pull a wizard in either way. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to go burst. I'm trying to grab it, and it just simply will not. Yeah, see, I had one guy follow me. It ruined the whole thing. So that's one of the issues with this trick, is one little dude can kind of ruin it. We'll finish off with the wizard. Be a little easier. Alright, 39.55, we take those. Thanks, Doug. Yeah, GG's. Thanks. That was unexpected.